I want to direct this opening question to the audience. Is it a surprise that someone attempted to use their hands to send a message to the Pelosi's? Or is it just kind of obvious since that's their whole lingo of using their hands to distract? Also, another question I'm going to be covering throughout this video is, why does Nancy Pelosi make so many people so angry? Is this someone who is a useful pawn in the game of distraction, or is this someone that is just a production of the corruption that is going on in the state at the moment, or the country at the moment? I would say this truly is just a production of the corruption. This is a production of allowing people who don't actually belong in positions to be put in those positions as long as they can act good enough and also follow the directions soundly. What do I mean by directions? Clearly, this is someone who is willing to say things without having any reasoning behind saying it, and let's show a clip.
Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
So if Biden deserves to be on Mount Rushmore, then they might as well put me on a blimp and just have me shooting around at all moments of the day, because I haven't done anything super bad yet, and clearly Biden has done things that are terrible. So if we're judging this based upon who's done worse, I would say maybe he does deserve a spot on Mount Rushmore, and if I start doing some really, really bad things, maybe I will deserve that spot on a blimp. Does this make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. That's the purpose of why I'm saying it. I'm saying it so it rings funny in the ears of anyone who's hearing it. It doesn't make sense. Why would he belong on Mount Rushmore besides if I was trying to mislead someone into thinking he did better than he did? This gets the ball rolling on Nancy Pelosi, though. Nancy Pelosi is clearly a puppet of the game. She is someone who is looking to mislead and usually just do it by the motions of her hands. So when I asked the question, is it a surprise that someone tried to use their hands to get back at the Pelosi's? No. I think that is part of the game that they play. I think that the game that they play is so shady that it doesn't surprise me one bit. It doesn't surprise me one bit that someone tried to go in there and do what they did to her husband. Do I think that they were intending to do it to her? Maybe. It's what it would seem obvious to, but at the same time, who knows? I don't know the full details of that situation. I'm not going to pretend to. But when I asked the question, is it a surprise that they used their hands or attempted to use their hands in some sort of way? No, I think that it is kind of obvious. This lady, Nancy Pelosi, is someone who uses her hands to completely discombobulate whoever's watching so that they think that there is something more special being said out of her mouth than really is. She'll say the most incoherent, stupid shit in the world that is honestly laughable at moments. Like saying Biden deserves a spot on Mount Rushmore is laughable. There's a reason why people are so frustrated when people gaslight them in that type of manner and do it so confidently and almost get sassy with the person who tries to counterclaim and be like, do you really think that? Should be like,
well, Teddy Roosevelt's on there. Teddy's on there, so well, I'm not saying take Teddy down, but I'm just saying.
It's like, what are you saying? Please. You have the moment to actually explain yourself. What are you saying? Why create it into an argument of, oh, but is Teddy better than Joe? Who gives a shit? Clearly that mountain is already up there, and probably so many people in the world disagree with who actually is taking place in there, whose face is actually on there. could probably be discredited by so many different people, but to put some old fart who clearly had no actual impact on making the country better, putting his face on there would just be a slap in the face of anyone who actually has been sitting with an open mind through these 4 years. Anyone who's actually been looking at the news and actually taking it for what it is, because there's clearly lies on both sides. I'm not gonna act like there isn't, but to see someone try to gaslight you like this and just be like, well, he was the greatest. He was the greatest, even though we have no reason to say that. There's absolutely no accomplishments that he's had in these years to be able to give him the title of being the greatest, or even give him the opportunity of claiming to be something that is better than a piece of shit. So, hope I did a great job here explaining why I think some people are going to try to use their hands in more physical ways of trying to send messages now on. I think that people are very much tired of allowing all of these puppet masters to control the way that people speak, control the way that people do anything, because these weird puppet masters, these privileged weirdos, literally have no actual control over us if we act in a coordinated way. So I'm not going to say I suggest anyone do this, anyone do that, but is it a surprise someone went about it in this manner? No, it happened a long time ago, so I'm not going to act like it happened yesterday. But to see this lady still on a mass scale just spreading this propaganda, not taking the lesson, taking that loss as a lesson of her husband getting attacked, it's brutally fucking scary to see that people are that egotistical and that shameless to even try to attempt to pull the wool over all of these sheep's eyes and act like, oh, it's okay. Well, you guys better understand that Biden's better than Roosevelt. He's better. What? I don't know. Hope I did a good job here. Gonna have a much more videos coming in the near future. Probably a few today, so much love.